had a great week. Today I wanted to share with you one of my favourite things to do with my children when the seasons change, as we are now coming into spring, and that is to make homemade seasonal Play-Doh. So I'm going to be sharing with you two different recipes today with some lovely spring scents and textures, so let's get started. Then the basic ingredients for my Play-Doh recipes are always the same, and that is you're going to need 1 cup of flour, food colouring, whatever colours you want to use, 1 tablespoon cream of tartar, 1 cup of boiling water, 1 tablespoon of oil and table salt. And then for this recipe you're going to need petals from flowers, whatever flowers you want and whatever colours you want. And then we are starting with the flour already in the bowl, and then I am adding to that the ½ cup of salt, and then in comes the tablespoon cream of tartar, and then the tablespoon of oil. And at that point I just give it a bit of a mix and really make sure all your ingredients are mixed together. And then you are going to take your cup of boiling water, and of course don't let the kids use the cup of boiling water, this is the bit an adult has to do, and I add to it my food colouring and just really mix it in well. And then you are going to take that and add it to all your dry ingredients and just start stirring. And you're going to have to stir for a few minutes to make it the right consistency, so you'll see it starts hardening up. If you need to add extra sprinkles of flour to make it the right texture, then go ahead and do that. And then once it's a nice consistency, you've got to get your hands on in there and just start kneading that dough. And then it comes into a nice ball, and this one turned out a little something like this. And then for this recipe, the idea is to get all your flower petals and just add it on into the Play-Doh. And this bit you might want to let the children do, or do it yourself and present it to them already finished, whichever you want to do, but just really work those petals on in there. And it ends up looking something like this. And now moving on to my zesty lemon Play-Doh. So obviously you're going to need a lemon for this. And then into my boiling water I put yellow food colouring. As you can see, all the dry ingredients are already in that bowl. And then you are going to take your lemon, I used a whole lemon for this, and just squeeze it on into the mixture. Now because you're adding more liquid, you are definitely going to need to add flour as you're stirring to it to get the right consistency. So just squeeze all that lemon in, and then you're going to start stirring. And I could see very quickly that this wasn't gloopy enough, so you can see I just sprinkled more flour in there. And you just keep stirring, adding more flour if you need, and stirring again. And finally you will start to get the right consistency. And then once it's how you like it, you get your hands on in there again and start kneading it, and then work it into a nice ball. And I was really happy with how both of these Play-Dohs came out, and I decided to present it on a big chopping board, sprinkle some petals all around it, and put the lemon next to it too, just for presentation. And then there was nothing left to do but to get the children to play with it. So you can see Willa really loved smelling that lemon one. And you can see I put a big bunch of flowers on the table. I just happened to have a bunch that I was about to throw away, and I thought it would be fun to let the children rip them all apart, add them to both of the Play-Dohs. I'm always telling them not to touch my flowers, so I thought for once it would be nice to just let them go for it, and they absolutely loved it. So much for watching, everyone. Do let me know if you try this at home, or if you have any other springtime recipes for Play-Doh. I would love to hear your suggestions. I'm definitely up for making more Play-Doh. And have a fantastic week, and I will see you next time. Bye!